Hello and welcome to all my art students out there. It's so good to draw with you today. Most of you are probably stuck at home, so let's do something productive. Let's do something a little bit more relaxing and let's do some art. So what I have here is a piece of paper. That's your standard size paper. So if you're using your sketchbook, that is perfect. So what I'm going to do is zoom in here. We'll go ahead and get started. Today we have a special character. To begin drawing this character, I have my pencil tool right there. You should have your pencils with you. And we're going to draw a circle. Just like we've done many times in my art classes. And draw a circle. Just going to show you the size. It's going to be a tad bigger than this. Let me go ahead and center it for you so you can all see nice and clear. And when you're drawing a circle, if you look at mine, it looks more like an oval right now, and that is fine because we're sketching here. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're just drawing away. And as you can see, mine's very not perfect. I'm going to take my eraser tool, and then I'm going to start to clean it up a little bit. So if you're new to these art tutorials, what I want to encourage you to do is not worry about making everything perfect. As long as you are sketching very lightly with pencil, it's okay. Just relax a little bit. I know it's kind of hard to relax right now with everything going on, but still we can relax while we draw. Okay, so there's my circle. Once again, it's not perfect, but it'll do. These are just the construction lines, the guidelines that are going to help us draw our actual character. So from there, what I'm going to do is draw this line. What I want to think of the head being tilted that way a little bit, okay? Kind of like that. So those are my guidelines here, my construction lines to kind of see which way the head is tilted. So with that in mind, so what I'm going to do is right here, I'm going to draw a curve going up just a tad. And then from there, I'm going to draw a curved line going the other way, where it's going to be going down. Then it's going to go up just a little bit, just like that. And I'm not totally happy with that yet, so I'm going to make this line a little bit smaller, about that way. And this line's going to be going up. I like that more. And that's what's so great about pencil. If you don't like it, just erase it. And then this line is going to come down. So it's going to come down like that. Okay. Now I'll admit to you right now, I am not perfect, especially in my drawing skills, but I'm having fun. This is relaxing. We're just sketching away, cleaning up those lines. I'll go ahead and stop that one right there. Then I'll go ahead and move on to the other side. The other side is going to come up a little bit higher. Remember that line we were thinking of tilting the head more like that way, so it's not going to be in the same level, it's going to be up a little bit higher. But before we do that, what I want us to do is alter this line a little bit by putting in another curved line like this. See that curved line? And then it's going to pull the face out a little bit more like that. I'm going to take my eraser, zoom in here, start to erase that guideline that I don't need anymore. Along with this one as well. Actually, I don't need any of this anymore. I can erase all of these. That's why you don't want to spend too much time focusing on your circle, because we're going to erase it anyway. Okay, from there, man, we're moving right along. we're going to take this point right where the curve, a little bit under where the curve hits the other curve. We're going to pull, let's see, let me double check here, really step back and look at this. Yeah, so about right here, we're going to curve up just a tad, and then we're going to do the same thing where we're going to curve down. So we curve up and then we curve down. From there, I'm going to have a little line that kind of comes out here. Dealing with lots of curves here. I'm going to make that just a little, make the curve just a little bit less, just a tad less. And then here, I'm going to come out and pull that up to attach. Okay. So we're moving right along here, right along. Now we're going to step back and kind of look at that and kind of think, do I like it? And I think it works. I think it works. We can always change it later. This is pencil. We can definitely change it later if we don't like it. Okay, remember that. If you don't like it, we will go back and change it. And if you've watched a lot of videos on this art class, you'll see that we do that a lot. So let's go ahead and move along here. We're going to put this little scarf coat thing on this character. I'm pretty sure you already figured out what character it is. But just in case you haven't, I want to keep it a surprise. Okay, there's that part. Excuse me. And let's go ahead and move on to this part. Right here, on this line right here, we're going to pull this down. Make a line right there. And then from this point, I'm going to pull a line. It's going to come down about right there. And then another line that's going to come down here. Heard someone say a long time ago, drawing is just taking a line on a walk. Just as you might go out and walk your dog, drawing is taking a line out for a walk, and don't always know where you're going to end up, but you're out there on a walk, and that's a good thing. Same thing with drawing. You might not always end up where you expect, but hey, you're on a walk, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. So here we're going to move on and continue the drawing. Actually, I want this to come out just a tad. Erase that. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. If there's something you're not happy with, some lines look off to you, go ahead and fix those. You can always pause this tutorial. Let's move on from there. Now we're going to draw a circle. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle, but we're going to kind of sketch a circle right here. We're going to kind of make the bottom part hang a little bit more flat than the top. I'm kind of figuring out this circular shape as we go here. I want it to look like it weighs more on the bottom. I'm going to kind of study it, and I think I'm okay with that. Maybe kind of have it come in just a little bit more, like right there. Not too much, but like that. Okay, I'm okay with that. And I'm also going to draw in another little circle inside the big circle. Lots of circles. Okay, and then I'm going to draw a magical hand. Put that a little bit lower. Maybe about right here. This hand's going to come out like that. Yep, just like that. And we have these three fingers, these 3 cute anime fingers. Take my eraser, start erasing the other lines. Now, so far everything we see is just guidelines. It's just sketch. It's like we're molding clay. These aren't our finished lines. Now I'm looking at this, and we don't want to give anyone the wrong impression about this character. We're going to make this finger a little bit smaller. Okay, so we're moving along there. Let's go to the other side. For the other side, we're just going to put a line like this. And then we're going to have a curved line coming out. This one's going to come down to about right there. This part's going to curve down and then come in. And let's really look at this. From this point, we'll have this line come out. Uh-oh. And I made a big mistake. I drew too big. So, and this is something I always tell my students, before you even start to draw, make sure you are not going to sketch off the page here like I almost did. Now, luckily, I'm drawing digital, so I didn't have to, be too cautious because I knew I could always change it. But if you're drawing traditional media, you really want to make sure you don't go off the page. So there's my bad. But hey, we can always erase, right? So from there, I'm going to draw a line. It's going to be right there. And then this line's going to come here, here. And then we're going to draw in some fingers. Now this hand's going to be a little bit bigger because it's sticking out, but I still think we can probably make these fingers just a tad bigger. Just like that. And we'll pull this line down here. I'm going to pull this line here. And this line will come in here. Okay. Well, stepped back and looked at that, and it was a little bit too far. It's still a little bit too far. We'll have it come here. There we go. So we're moving right along here. Let's pull this line down. Maybe I'll step out, make it a little bit further. And then we'll kind of have it bunch up here. And then kind of a curved line right there. So I guess we weren't too far off. I'm going to tilt this a little bit to the right. And then we'll go ahead and put in some toes. The toes are super, super easy. All you do is just draw this shape and then have this shape kind of cross over. Erase those guidelines. But then kind of step back and think, yeah, I think that's probably a good size. Well, maybe we can make them a little bit bigger. A big part of drawing is scrutinizing your lines. After you draw it, go back and really look at it and think, does that look right to you? Okay. Then I'm going to give it a little bit more curve here. Same thing over here. We'll just keep it simple. We could put 3 toes, but in reality, no one's going to really be looking at the toes once we're done. And I'm going to step back and think, those probably need to be a tad bigger. Don't get lazy with your artwork. Don't just say that's good enough. Really go back and be asking yourself the question, how can we make this better? In my actual physical art class at school, our students do this thing where we put our artwork out and we walk around the classroom and we kind of share our artwork, and we call it a walk around gallery, where students get to really look at other students' artwork and see what they did different or maybe better to learn from. And we can do that with our own work as well. So we have this area right here. Let's go ahead and put in another eyebrow right here. And our character is coming together, I think. Put in a line right here. And we'll put in a line right here. Yeah. I'm going to look at that. No, maybe more right here. I'm going to step back. Do I like that? Let's change it up just a tad. Be picky. Be picky. Step back one more time. And just go ahead and put in a nose. And a mouth. I'm going to step back a little bit and look at this, and I don't like where this is, so I'm going to move it just a tad. Let me zoom in here a little bit. I'm just going to see how does that look. I do like it a little bit better right there. So let's do the same thing with the nose. Let's move the nose right here. And then I'm going to look at the smile again. And I kind of want to come up a little bit more like that. Okay. I'm going to step back. I think everything's in the right place. Let's go ahead and put in the actual eyes. The eyes are easy. They're just circles. There's one. Let me make it a little bit bigger. Try that again. No. Let's see. Yeah, I can work with that. I can work with it. And nope, I want it a little bit bigger. Nope. Nope. Okay, I can work with that. So I'm just gonna kind of sketch around it and really start to shade it in. I'm just going to do a quick shade right now because I'm going to go back and ink this once it's all ready to be inked. So let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and put a little anime light reflection off there, and we'll go ahead and do it right here too, and right here. This is, and if you aren't able to tell by now, this is cute baby Yoda in a kind of a anime style. Okay. And this is going to make a lot more sense once we actually start to color. And here what I'm going to do is about right here, draw a line. And I'm going to erase this guideline. We don't need this one anymore. And right here, I'm going to go ahead and put in maybe about right here. That's just going to be a different color. Let's go ahead and add in some, just a few little lines. Just so we know where to add in a little bit more detail. This one right here, I'm going to pull it down just a tad. I feel like it's originally just a little bit too high. And we're going to look at the ears. Fix those lines. Now, obviously, we could just be done, and a lot of people might just want to quickly sketch something and be over it, but we got to have a high standard for our artwork. I mean, if we're drawing it, we want to take some pride in that. That's how we get better, is when we train our eye to see the little details. So I'm going to step back and look at that a little bit more. This line might need to come out a little bit. So what I'm doing is I'm critiquing my own artwork and asking, what could I possibly add or change to make it better? And I already see something else. Maybe this line can come in just a little bit. Maybe like that. Okay, and maybe a few more things here. I feel like we can pull this down. Make it a little bit bigger. To really kind of study it. And maybe add a little bit more of a curve here, so it's a little bit more pleasing to the eye. Like right here. Okay, now I'm going to step back one more time and look at it, and I think it's okay. I think we can start to begin the inking stage. If there's anything else we need to add, I don't think so. I'm looking at the eyes. I think it works. I think it works. So we're going to go ahead and stop the video right now, give you a break. This is the penciling parts. We're going to come back in part 2 and do the inking and coloring.